My primary is digital art. When I first was getting into art, being dyslexic, at first it didn't make sense to me. But when I started studying art in the graphic world and I started seeing everything through layers, it started to make sense to me. I was like, it was like this mind-boggling, like I would look at a painting and all of a sudden it would go, and I would be like, oh, that's the shading layer. And it was this ginormous epiphany for me in art where, I'm still studying art every day. I between lighting, shading, and coloring. And then I had this other moment where I really love tattoos. In fact, I find tattoos, it's like tattoo therapy is what I considered it. And one day I was having this moment where I was like, I really love tattoos, and how can I get into that medium? And that's where I am now. I'm a working tattoo padawan, working with skin, and coming from a digital art background. A lot of my inspiration is actually drawn from a lot of my friends from around the world, or even local artists. My friend Justin White, my friend Ashley, Megan, the Naked Neighbor. It's these influences by other people that, again, it creates this community of artists that are just supporting each other and driving each other to be like, I love what you're doing, let's keep this going. And it's not ever cutthroat. If somebody wants to do a giant portraiture of something, I would direct them to some of my most favorite painting artists. Whereas other artists around here, if they needed some type of digital work or anything like that, they would direct it to me. And so it's this huge community helping each other without creating roadblocks. It's very beautiful to see the Boise Art Scene grow and be able to push each other towards what we are now. Whether you're a musician, whether you're a person that makes jewelry, or you're a painter, or you're a digital artist, I feel because of our communities being so small, it has this huge potential and growth to give back as it expands. And I think, over these years, more and more artists are going to come in, and that sense of community, I'm really hoping will stay within to, cause that wonderful growth that is happening right now. You can't walk around downtown nowadays without noticing some of the most amazing artists that you would have never seen that years ago, because people would have considered it graffiti or not tasteful. But now when Tree Fort hits, it's like the whole town is gorgeous, and it's like this musical artistic parade. And that's another thing that I feel grew from the whole art community was Tree Fort. It was like, how can we come together and with musicians and artists and food and fruit and beer and celebrate each other. And I think that's very key to Boise right now, is the community. I had this moment where I realized that art was driving me. It was the passion that, at the end of the day, who cares about the day job when you have this passion that you're pouring every single minute into, and someday it could show fruition of something beautiful. One of my favorite accomplishments is I got to work with my friend Daniel with Paddles at Poke, and you could go downtown and you could go check out one of my pieces that he has displayed on his restaurant. And that same piece is now in over 700 copies of magazines throughout resorts of Idaho. And that right there is a huge, hit to my heart, and it feels like an accomplishment. And it wouldn't have been done without the community of Boise just driving each other to be better and boost each other up. And that right there is why I still do it.